Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For those who don't know, my name is Renee. Today I did a 23 things I've learned in 23 years in honor of my 23rd birthday. I'm going out tonight. We're going to a bar called Low Key in Mill, and this is the look that I did. It's just a little like get ready with me. I hope you guys all enjoy it, and if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay. See you later, guys. This is a pore perfecting toner. It says gently cleanses, conditions pores to remain clear, smooth and balanced skin without over drying. I've used this a couple times and I like the way that it works. I just don't like the smell. But I take that just on a little cotton round. Just to get the skin prepped and ready for makeup. I'm going to bring that down. Since I have primed my skin, I'm going to kind of give one of the lessons. And the first lesson that I have to say is to take time for yourself. Real quick before I get into that, I'm going to use the Born This Way foundation in the color Nude. And then I'm also going to be using the Dream Liquid Mousse Airbrush Finish. This is the color 10 in Porcelain Ivy. And I'm going to use both of them on a Morphe Y6 brush. Anyways, moving back on to one of the lessons I've learned in 23 years. And take time for yourself. Just simply, as I said, to take time for yourself. And that's, take time to get to know yourself. Go to a movie by yourself. Go eat dinner by yourself. Sit in your room, really get to know who you are as a person. The next thing is that karma happens, but sometimes it's not your place to serve karma. Don't make sure that karma gets to people, because it'll hit them right when it's supposed to. And it's not your job to make sure that it does so. The next thing that I just used was the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to blend that out. And I'm blending that with the EcoTools Beauty Sponge. Moving forward, I will be using the Ben Nye Cameo Luxury Powder, and that's to set my face where I just put concealer, and I'm going to be using the smaller side of the EcoTools sponge to do so. Next, I'm going to set my face with a Maybelline powder. This is the Shine Free Loose Powder in the color Light, and it just looks like this. I've had this for so long that it's just rubbed off. And to apply that, I will be using the powder brush from Real Techniques. The next life lesson that I have learned is that sometimes the best thing to do is nothing at all. Whether that's on a Friday night, or that's trying to not reply to, if somebody does something to you and you're like, I really just want to tell them off, you want to say something. Sometimes the best thing that you can say is nothing. Next, I will be using the Hoola Light Bronzer. Looks like that. And the Real Techniques brush. This is the Expert Face Brush. Tap off any excess. Another lesson I've learned is that your choices have consequences. Your actions have consequences. Choose your actions wisely and make sure that you choose the best one for you at that time. Next, moving on with the makeup, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and this is in Caramel Toffee. I'm going to use that same brush that I was just using, the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I'm going to use the dark contouring shade, and I'm going to apply that typically I'll contour, and when I do, I start from here and come down. So I'm just going to kind of darken up the bottom And I'm going to bring that up towards my forehead. Another thing I have learned is from my coworker, and that's I make somebody sad if you don't have to. Obviously, don't do anything that's like gonna harm you. Like don't put yourself in danger with that statement. Don't say mean things to people. Don't hurt their feelings. Why make somebody sad when you don't have to? Moving on, I will be using the same palette but the banana shade, and I'm gonna bake right under my contour to kind of clean up what I just did. And I'm gonna bring that down just so all right there kind of has the same texture, the same look. But the next life lesson is don't be afraid to stand up for yourself or your beliefs. Don't ever shy away from the person that you are, because there's nobody else like you out in the world. There's only one of you. So, and don't let people push you around, don't let people make fun of you. I know that's easier said than done, but just whatever you do, stick up for yourself. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to let that bake for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put blush on. This is the Fit Me in Deep Rose, big surprise. And I'm going to use yet again, another Real Techniques brush, and this is the buffing brush. And the next lesson I have is believe in yourself and have your own beliefs. Don't ever tell yourself that you can't do something, but don't let other people make beliefs for you. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and put highlighter on. I'm using Ofra's Rodeo Drive, and to apply that I will be using the Morphe M501. The next life lesson that I have is just cut your hair. If you want to do, I guess just kind of do anything. If you want to cut your hair, if you want to dye your hair, if you're trying to convince yourself to do something, just do it. I promise you. My hair has been every color of the rainbow. I have shaved my head completely. My hair has been to the middle of my back, and I don't regret any of it. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and take that banana cutter off. My next life tip is to treat others the way that you want to be treated. Put yourself in their shoes. Do like a 180 and put yourself in their situation and consider what they're going through and their feelings, and go from there. Like, don't make any super rash statements or make any rash moves, because you don't know. Even if you feel like you do know, or it's your best friend or your significant other and you're like, no, I know them and whatever, but people only share what they want to share. People will only tell you parts of the story that they want you to hear, so they can tell you they're fine, or they can say this is on my mind, and still it could not be the full story. So treat others the way that you want to be treated. Don't call people crybabies. Don't call people annoying if you yourself can't handle being called that. Yeah, nobody wants to hear, mean things. So don't be that person who says the mean things. And also, to kind of talk about what I'm doing, I use the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm priming my eyes for eyeshadow. And this is a brush I got off Wish. I got a whole pack of them. So, and they don't have brands or numbers or anything like that, so can't share that with you guys, although I would like to. Before I do anything with eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the color Soft Brown. It says Powder Eyebrow Pencil from Dior, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and the brows are on, and I am just going to continue to blend this in from the concealer that I used to carve out my brows. And moving forward, I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill palette. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my eye with the first color in the palette. And what this is going to do is make it so that everything blends evenly, because if you put powder that's not like a skin tone color on the concealer, it's not going to blend. And I'm using that brush that I used to put concealer on. And I think what I'm going to do is just do one eye and then do another eye off camera and then just come back. My next little life lesson that I have for you guys is to be unapologetically yourself. That's to just never be afraid to be weird. Never be afraid to stand out, because nobody's born the same, so we're not all born to fit in. We're not placed in molds when we are created, so we're not all meant to be the same. We're not all meant to fit certain molds or to fit and be in certain groups. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm doing. We're born to be different, so just never apologize for being yourself. One of my biggest things that I always say is to never apologize for the way you feel or your feelings in general, because you can't control that. I went ahead and used the color underneath that, and that color is Creamsicle. The first color is in light that I used, and I'm using a Morphe M535 to lay this down. I'm going to use this as my transition shade, and I'm going to blend until there are no harsh lines and until that color is built up to how I want it to look. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the color that's right next to that, and that color is Butter, and I'm using that same brush and going just right over where I put Creamsicle, just to kind of give, and I do like to do like little circle motions, windshield wipers, whatever works for you. The next lesson that I have is, if you're breathing, you'll survive. If you woke up, you'll get through the day, and I promise you that. Just stay as strong as you can and know that like this too shall pass. I'm gonna go ahead, just so you guys know, I'm using the color Pooter. This is a Wet n Wild brush, but it doesn't have a number or anything. And I'm just kind of tucking that in the corner of my eye. My next lesson that I've learned is to be able to laugh at yourself, because if you can't laugh at yourself, life is going to be hard and really hard for you. If you do something embarrassing or silly or stupid, just laugh. Because making yourself feel like garbage because of whatever you did or getting embarrassed is just going to ruin your day. The next lesson that I have, also I'm using the color Pukey, and I'm just putting that right on top of, I'm really just packing in the color to that corner. In a short version is, take every chance that you have, and if you are having a hard time getting motivation or just getting that like oomph in life and need that extra push to do whatever it is, whether that's to get up and do the laundry or if it's to chase after your dreams, just live it like Lloyd. Go for it. And I'm taking it again, that same Wet n Wild brush, and I am using the color Mocha, the Morphe M535, and I'm going to take that for one of the first colors we used, the Creamsicle, and I'm just going to kind of blend out what I just put on. But the next thing is, be considerate. Like, really put yourself in people's shoes and think about how their day is going, what they're encountering in their lives. Like, people can be really rude and inconsiderate, and it ruins a lot of people's days. Like, you know, there have definitely been times where have worked in customer service pretty much my entire life, and I can tell you that one person can totally ruin someone's day. But just think about them, about what's going on in their life, and even if you gotta lie to yourself, just come up with a story of why that person is acting the way that they are. Try to place yourself in their shoes. I always try to do that also, like if I'm in a disagreement or an argument with somebody, is like really just try to put yourself in their place and their state of mind. I used the color Central Park and that exact same Wet n Wild brush and just put an even darker color. And then lastly, I'm going to take an e.l.f. brush and I'm going to take the color Soda Pop, which is kind of like a purpley color. Tap off a lot of that excess. I'm going to put that yet again right where all those other dark colors are. And so I'm going to take that Morphe brush yet again with nothing on it and just, and with that, another life lesson I've learned is to document your memories in any way. Whether it's pictures, if you have to write it down in a journal, like just document everything you can when you can. Real quick, I am taking the color Butter on that Morphe brush and putting it on top of all those dark colors we just did to make sure everything is blended. Another lesson that I have learned is that it is 115,000% okay to make mistakes. You don't learn unless you do. I'm going to take the color MFEO and all here yet again to blend out. Yeah, it's totally okay to make mistakes. Just learn from them. Don't make the same mistake 17 times. But even then, if it takes you 17 times, 300 times to learn from it, at least you learned something. There are so many people out there who have done this, that will do this. Girl, do you. For me personally, I'm so glad I didn't do this, but don't tattoo yourself at the age of 16. Not you personally tattooing, I wouldn't recommend that either, but like, don't get a tattoo at the age of 16 unless it's for somebody who's passed. Don't tattoo yourself at 16, because I'm 100% happy that I don't have sparrows on my collarbones or anchors. Think twice, kiddos, think twice. And I just went ahead and blended that out. I didn't have any extra product on that. Another life lesson that I have learned is, real quick, I'm using the Stila Kitten Karma Magnificent Metals. I'm going to take this Eco Tools brush, this is the color Buns, and blend all of that together. But yeah, don't bandwagon. And if anybody out there watching this doesn't know what that means, like, in short words, like, don't follow the crowd. Like, don't just like jump on board with things. I don't know how to properly explain that, but I took that Soda Pop color in that e.l.f. brush, and then I'm going to take that Morphe brush, nothing else added to it. The next lesson I have is, don't be afraid of change. If you have any sort of change that you want to do it. Like I said, cut your hair, get a tattoo, move states, move countries, like, get up and just do something crazy with your life. I'm maybe certain that you won't regret it. Next thing that I have to say is, things happen for a reason. Another lesson that I have learned is that it's okay to move your room around, even though your mom says to stop doing so. Mom, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna use that color Pukey on that same brush, but I have like the world's worst, maybe not the world's worst, not to be literal, but anxiety. I have really bad like OCD and whatever. I'm constantly trying to make my room exactly how I want it, which I don't think there's an issue with it, but it irritates my mom. I took that Soda Pop color and put it just on the outer corner with my lower lash line. I'm gonna bring that up. Little tip that I have is, if you're considering an animal, get one. They will be your best friend. But like I said, please just get one if you can take care of it, because it breaks my heart when you see animals in shelters or animals that are put on the road. Not that I think any of you people would do that, but going back real quick, I took that same blending brush, the 627. It's definitely not the direction that I wanted my makeup to go in, but we're going that direction. We're going places. Everybody buckle up for the ride, because animal on the loose and she's doing her own thing. Take that Rodeo Drive, not that I need to, but pop it in my inner corner to really just brighten and open up right there. And because I like sparkly things and I love highlighter, and I want it there, that's why. I actually learned this from Jenna Marbles, and it's do what's right unless it doesn't feel right. Her whole story was that she was at a grocery store or something. She watched some like disheveled man throw alcohol like into his jacket, and she didn't say anything. She's like, I just at that time didn't think that the right thing to do was to tell anybody. She brought up how karma comes around and he'll get what he deserves, but she just didn't feel like it was right to hand what he deserved, because he'll just get it, karma will come around. But yeah, so I'm back to talking. Lucky for you guys, I'm just drying this because sometimes this transfers. But yeah, last advice tip is to just mind your own. Go ahead and use demi-wispies, however you want it, come on. Clearly it's the color black, and these are Ardell lashes. I am obsessed. So my camera decided to have an extra moment, very dramatic moment, and stopped recording, but it was overheating, so I went ahead and put on my other eye, and then went ahead and put on my mascara, eyeliner, and lashes. I put on a bold lipstick. This is the ColourPop LAX liquid lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my hair, and I'll be right back. Hey everybody, so that was my tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you would like, go ahead and please subscribe. And if you want to get notified on when I upload, there's a little notification bell down below. Follow me in my YouTube journey. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye.